Hey, Chris.
I don't have any jokes.
How do pirates measure the distance they swim?
How do pirates measure the distance they swim?
Yards?
Yeah, come on, Eric. No, okay. Look, if you know the punchline,
No,
you don't
I did
say
not know
it.
the answer. That was a guess. That was a guess.
Eric, this is how jokes work. Even if you want to guess, you just go, I don't know, how? And then you let the person telling the joke
Yards?
finish the joke. Wow. What did the ocean say to the swimmer?
What?
Nothing. It just waved.
Did you save these from like our travel episode? It's What You Watching. Welcome to What You Watching, presented by Geeky A Go-Go, a show where we dive into what's currently on our screens. Big screens or little screens, size matter not here. Just the quality or lack of our cues. I'm Chris Nitro. Joining me today in the Go-Go is Anthony Pizzuto
Hello.
and Eric Ho.
Heyo.
Gents, how are you?
I'm just happy that I didn't miss my cue this time. And I was like right on it. And I think I surprised you because then there was a little bit of pause. It's like, oh, he did it.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank God, my family. I'm
that
actually
order.
in that order. Well, you can shake things up a little bit. This has been a quite the weekend here at Casa Pizzuto. I have been doing all kinds of outdoor work. We got the patio all set up. We bought new patio furniture and big fancy gigantic umbrella things, and we got our little above ground 10-footer set up. And now I just want to spend all my time on the patio. It's just beautiful. So yeah, it's been a nice weekend here in New Jersey. Eric, how have you been? I think I said before we started recording that I haven't seen you in months. Like, where have you been? What have you been up to? Has it been months?
Oh,
What's been going on with you?
No, I just missed you guys like once.
What? Okay, all right. Is there another
Nothing crazy.
podcast?
That's right. Stay tuned.
Curling with Eric.
Not quite yet. Though I did think about going to. I was gonna apply to go to a curling ice tech training camp
Is that the one in Minnesota?
in Minnesota.
Nice.
But they say they might be coming to the East Coast. So I'm gonna hopefully shoot and apply for those ones. You gotta apply because the spots are very limited. No, I just been busy. Had a chance actually to go to a nice little sake distillery north of or in the Hudson Valleys. It's actually near Hyde Park.
Oh, okay.
So it was a bit of a drive, but went up there. Ended up at like the FDR's presidential libraries there too, which I was like, oh, I guess it's next door. It's literally across the street from the FDR presidential library.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we got a chance to check out some of the along the same path. We went to Dia Beacon, so check out some of these nice little art installations. Which, for those of you who don't know, north of Manhattan, New York City, there are some really great kind of just large outdoor art installations out in Hudson Valley, and so. Usually people do like Storm King is one of the really famous ones, and then Dia Beacon's like right pretty close by, and so got to check that out too, which is pretty cool. So yeah, ended up doing that in the past week, and looking forward to chatting with you guys again.
Did you check any books out from the FDR Presidential Library? Is that how that works? No, that's not a thing. Yeah, you can't do that.
Oh, I have so many jokes that would be inappropriate in 2024, so I chose not to.
We're only at episode 29. We cannot get canceled yet, Eric, okay? So thank you.
I gotta say, they designed it because FDR is a president from so long ago. Unlike the recent presidential libraries that I've been to, like George W.'s, Bill Clinton's, these are more, those are more like, hey, this is a standalone, like, it's a museum, you see like their accomplishments and all that kind of stuff. There's actually a lot of interesting artifacts from their term in office and tell a story. the way that they've done the FDR's library is actually, I don't want to say the library itself, but outside they manage all the different kind of historical buildings nearby together because it's managed by I think the Park Service, and so there's like a Vanderbilt Mansion there too that you can tour. But by the time we got there, it was already too late. But it's all kind of part of this whole package. So if you find yourself up there with the family, that could be a fun little thing you guys can do together. So anyway, I did not check out any books.
Interesting what you're watching tidbit. The David Letterman show on Netflix. My next guest is when he interviewed Cardi B, they did it at the library, I believe, or their house or something, their manor. I just remember them like visiting this place, and I was like, this is really odd that Cardi B absolutely loves Eleanor Roosevelt. And like,
I heard about this.
Yes. So I suggest, this is not part of the Watch It, but I suggest you guys go and watch My Next Guest Is and the Cardi B episode.
Interesting.
I did hear. I saw a clip from it, and I was like, dang, girl, this is very impressive. It's like Eleanor Roosevelt's a gangster. It's like, oh, is she now? Yeah, Chris, what were you up to this week?
Me, I was. What did you do after work? We decided the family and I, we decided, well, I should say my wife and I decided to surprise the kids with a surprise one-night trip to Great Wolf Lodge in the Poconos. So we did that. It was as expected, you know, it's a family indoor water park. I thought it would have been slightly nicer than it was. I mean, other than the water park stuff, they had a pretty good arcade setup. Really sad mini golf and a really weird like mini bowling alley. But it was like 4 or 5 lanes. I could be wrong. We didn't really like. We went and it was like way too many people in here. We're like, we're not waiting for this. But it's like it's almost like skee ball but flat and a bowling alley. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, this is weird. Like this is way too small for what it should be. Like this is like a not an amusement park, but a family water park that's like humongous. And then you go into this little room with like 5 lanes, and it's like, I'm like, what is going on here? So yeah, I mean, obviously you're not going to go there for this. It's like an extra thing to do, but the extra things to do were like not very extra, if that makes sense.
Was it like candlepin bowling or something like that, or was it smaller than that?
I didn't even pay attention. Like we didn't even go into the room. Like we peered in from the door, like saw the end of the alley, and we were like, yeah, this is like, they're like bocce sized bowling balls. Like,
yeah, okay.
So yeah, I've never seen that before. So
got it. Yeah.
But yeah, it was okay. Food mediocre at best.
So how many disco balls?
1. That's a quick one, okay? Like
since this was a surprise for your kids, how many disco balls would they give?
Oh, good question.
I mean, yes, it is a kid thing, so I would say they loved it. 4, you know, definitely not a 5. You know what? I revised that. Probably a 3, right? My kids have traveled, right? They've been around to really big parks, amusement parks. They've been to locales and stuff like that around the world. They had a good time, you know, but I think they would have had better time at a beach. You know what I mean? Like they really didn't want to do the water slides. They didn't want to do any of that stuff, which is fun. Like I said, it is an indoor water park. It checks that box 100%. Just for us, I'm like, nah, skip. Will we do it again? Probably. It's nearby. It's like an hour, 15-minute drive. Way overpriced, nickel and diming kind of situation. But we went. It was a sale, like a 48-hour sale. We were available. Surprisingly, we're like, let's just go do it. So we, like I said, we went for a night. Not the greatest thing in the world. Also not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, that's what I did. but also doing a lot of yard work and things like that, like outdoorsy stuff like Anthony was doing, building new patio furniture and setting up everything outside, garden, blah, 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 all that stuff. So yeah, a fairly eventful couple weeks.
Speaking of outdoor work, I did go to Home Depot to try to get some rocks to cover this patch of my back patio. That's like, because I transplanted some plants like a few weeks back. Now it's just dirt, and instead of growing stuff there, I want to just cover with rocks. Rocks are expensive, y'all. And then by the way, like,
Yep.
You never have enough. I bought 6 bags, which I went like, oh man, this has got to be fine. I covered like 1/3 of the strip of land I wanted to do. I ended up buying 21 bags of rocks the other day.
Never buy that stuff from Home Depot or Lowe's. There's plenty of places where you can buy this in bulk. It is so much cheaper, and it's so they bring a giant truck and they just dump it in your driveway, and you're good to go. Next year.
See, like, so first off, this is the cheapest rock that they have, which is fine, whatever. But this whole like dumping a pallet on your driveway situation, I live on a slope. They dump it at the bottom of the slope, and then so they have to like carry these things back up. So I cannot do that.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Yeah, it's something like, so like we got mulch delivered, and it's $35 a cubic yard or something like that, or square yard. I think to get a square yard out of those bags at Home Depot, it's like 30 bags or something like that. Yeah, for 1 square yard. So like right there, you're already saving $60 per yard or something ridiculous like that.
The guy who processed me at checkout did mention under his breath, he was like, oh, I don't know why all these people are here buying mulch. The sale was over like 2 weeks ago.
Let's kick this off. We'll do the round table, all right? Each of us go once. Let's start with Eric this week since we missed you. Eric, what you watching?
I went to see Furiosa.
Remember me?
They took Furiosa!
You crawled out of a pitiless grave. Only one thing's gonna do that. Revenge? But you will never. Going to get me.
A movie theater. And I think I'm probably, according to box office, one of only people that went to see the movie over the theater, which is such a bummer because it's actually a great movie. And I would highly encourage everybody to go see it. Like, it's I think that it was not as good as the last Mad Max that kind of came out. This is more of a side story about Furiosa. But I loved it. Also, I think I was reading somewhere where someone asked George Miller where this falls in the timeline of Mad Max. And he's like, who cares? Just enjoy the movie. And I go, yes, this. That's the right attitude from the guy who created the whole damn thing. And no, I loved it. It was great. I just really enjoyed it. The movie theater was kind of empty when I went though, and I went on opening weekend, and it's a bummer that not a lot of people went out to see it.
What? I mean, I heard that it is eye candy, as was Fury Road, right? But Fury Road was also panned, but for is its right term misogynistic reasons? Is that right? I don't know if that's the right word.
Because they have some of those. Yeah. I never found it to be.
Yeah. I thought it was the opposite, actually, because it was the first Mad Max series that you had a female protagonist. It had been Mel Gibson up until that point. So
I don't know the definition. Just for everyone, I don't know the definition of misogynist. I'm just using big words to sound smart.
Dude bros are misogynistic most of the time.
Big words.
Yeah, so they were knocking it because it had a female lead, right? That's what I remembered.
Oh, so the dude bros were knocking it because it was a female. Oh, so it was one of those it's not my Mad Max type of
basically, I think.
They got sand in their peepees.
You can't.
So-
You can't have
so
a female
they-
heroine in any
Yeah.
film or anything like that's
So
what I
stupid.
remember from.
Oh, okay,
from
got it.
Yeah,
So-
defense Star Wars did is what you're saying. So,
Yep. This isn't my
No.
Star Wars.
but you know what's funny? And now that people are saying how this is gonna jeopardize because I think he was gonna make another one. I think, and now the box office doesn't look so good. But I remember when I first watched Mad Max. I watched it in school, and I remember being told that it was very much a cult classic because when it first came out, it didn't perform that well either.
Yeah.
And then it was more of a thing that just kept going. And so,
Hang on, you watched the original Mad Max in school?
yes, I'm like 5. You guys are like old.
What school is showing Mad Max?
My high school,
Okay, it's high school age. Okay.
my TV my TV productions teacher
Okay.
was really big into showing us quote unquote cult classics, and to teach us what a cult classic is. Mad Max was one of the ones that he showed us, which, you know, now that I think back, the 70s, 80s, maybe a little bit early 90s were fairly easygoing with their violence and nudity, and these films represented that. And I was just surprised that that kind of got through. But anyway, I really enjoyed it. I highly encourage it. Anna Taylor-Joy is great in it. Chris Hemsworth is great in it. And visually just stunning as a movie, as always. So, you know, I'll give it, 4 balls. That's how much I like it.
Nice.
You should definitely gotta
Nice.
go check it out.
Cool. Excellent.
And it looks like it actually looks like the tomato meter has it at 90% fresh and 90% audience score. But to your point, Eric, so the budget for it looks like 168 million. Opening weekend, they were at 26 million. Gross worldwide right now is at 114 million. So it didn't come out. And I think this whole Memorial Day start to the blockbuster season was kind of a little fizzle for some weird reason in
I
general.
mean, you had this or Garfield. I think that was the other choice that you had. So,
Right. Yeah, exactly. Which exactly. So, and I have a question. So, was it Mad Max? Was it Road Warrior, or was it Thunderdome that you watched in high school?
I think we watched all 3.
Oh wow! Okay, the whole trilogy. All right.
We must have, because it was over several days.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's no way that it was just one if it's several days.
And do you have a favorite?
I don't think so. As a matter of fact, now that I've seen the new ones,
Mm-hmm.
like Fury Road is like my favorite.
Oh wow! Okay,
Just-
nice.
Again, visually stunning, right? And I think it's one of those things where you see the directors go like, "Wow, I wish I had this technology when I was making this movie like ages ago, because I could have done all these cool things." So yeah, I mean, I like more of the recent ones.
And is Furiosa a prequel to Fury Road, or is it a prequel?
It is a prequel. It is a
So it's a
prequel. Well,
prequel to Fury Road. Okay.
it talk about the origin story of Furiosa.
Mm-hmm.
There are little things that they talk about during the movie that can link to things that happen in Fury Road.
Okay.
How, like, like, why does she only have one hand situation? But the reason why I think the director said don't worry about the timeline is because I think a few things might not actually line up. So,
I see. Okay.
you're like it's small things, but I really liked it. I
Nice.
you heard it, you saw it in the rating, right? So it's more of a people loved it who went to see it, and so more people should go see it. Is my point.
Got it.
Cool. Awesome.
You said 4 disco balls? 4. Okay, awesome. For the show notes.
I'm going to go next. So Nitro, what you're watching, was a documentary from 2022 called Butterfly in the Sky.
Do you want the Reading Rainbow treatment? Here we go.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high.
Reading Rainbow was not about learning to read, it was about loving to read.
I said, we will get kids reading more because they will watch Reading Rainbow and they will go get those books. Nobody believed us.
I thought, what a great idea.
Reading is a very fresh way to learn.
Reading Rainbow wanted children to know there's all kinds of stories out there, and while it may not be stories from your neighborhood, it's stories from a neighborhood you should know about.
Roll tape. Ready?
We would all throw ideas in without worrying about how dumb they were or how difficult to achieve they were.
I did everything they asked. I mean, everything. Ow! I became very adamant that since they had hired me, then what they got was me.
He wasn't talking down to you. He was talking as like, let's have this conversation.
It hurts when someone you love dies.
He was on TV as himself, and that's power.
Hi, everybody. This is a book for you.
It was saying, your stories matter. Your voice matters. Which means that I get to watch the show and say, huh, maybe I have a voice. Maybe I have an opinion. Maybe I have a story.
But you don't have to take my word for it.
It just showed up on Netflix. That's why I was like, how come I didn't see this before? So I don't know, maybe it was released somewhere else, but it's on Netflix now. And I was like, ooh, I want to watch that. And I'm very happy that I did. It is just one big nostalgia bomb for me, where like I started playing it, and as soon as I heard the music, the Reading Rainbow music. So okay, so I didn't mention this. Butterfly in the Sky is a documentary talking about the creators and the people that were involved with making Reading Rainbow, which was a television book series on public access. Not public access, but like public television. Mm-hmm. There is a difference, right?
Oh yeah.
And for those of us that had grew up with this, the host of Reading Rainbow was LeVar Burton, and so you get to learn more about the show. But from the second I heard the song, the Reading Rainbow song, I started smiling, like physically smiling, watching it by myself. And I'm like, wow, this is really bringing back all the nostalgia and all the memories of watching this as a kid and learning about like all the cool stories from other kids. And, that's what they talk about in the show. So it's presented very well. It talks about everybody that was involved with the show and how they got the idea off the ground, because I guess in the 60s or 70s, teachers started having issues with getting children's attention, and they said, the TV is melting everyone's brains and blah 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 blah. We know all that it's not all entirely true, but they were trying to figure out a way to get kids back into reading, and that's where the genesis of the show was. Is okay, well, they're stuck to this thing. Parents are using it as a quote-unquote free babysitter, so why don't we just use it to teach? And that's what the show is, Reading Rainbow. So very well done documentary. I think it's, after having watched it, I dug into it a little bit more, trying to see who these people are and whatnot, and come to find out there's a little bit of drama involved with LeVar Burton and Reading Rainbow and whatnot, and they didn't talk about any of that in the documentary, which I think is a good thing, right? To the credit of the show, right? You don't want to put this bad mark on it and whatnot because of differences the creators or the producers of the show had with LeVar and whatnot. And mainly what it was is like LeVar wanted to continue it like into the digital age. So he was doing things with like another company or his own company, trying to capitalize on the Reading Rainbow brand. But again, I hope so, in the breadth of doing good for children. So super cool. you know, they took a really big chance in trying to get LeVar Burton to host this, because he was just coming off of Roots, right? And that was huge for TV back then. You know, like millions and millions of people tuned in and like just saw this story on television. And he was just a kid. He was like 18 or something like that at the time. And he stuck with it for like 20-something years. Like, he got picked up in Star Trek and still managed to work out, like, hey, I will do Star Trek, but I still want to do this other thing. And he really, really, really loved doing it. Like, his mom was an educator and all that stuff, so he really wanted to do this stuff for children as a whole. And it, you know, like I said, the story's amazing. The documentary's amazing. I loved it. I'm gonna give it 5 disco balls.
Wow, nice.
Right?
Insert sound effect. Ding, 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 ding.
Ring the bell. Wow.
Like I said, it was done very well, and it just got all the feels. You know what I mean? Like, just bringing back all the nostalgia and stuff like that, and talking about how the book review kids, some of them became famous after that, or you know, they're just regular everyday people and whatnot, and some of the special guests that did the voiceovers for reading and stuff like that. Whoopi Goldberg was in it. She read a couple books or something like that. It was just really, really, really good. One odd thing that was very odd to me, and I didn't really dig into it, so I don't know why. They had the person on the show, I guess the music director, who created the song, but they didn't bring the singer into it. So the woman that sang, you know, Butterfly in the Sky, I Can Fly to Ice, she wasn't in the documentary. And I just found that very odd. I was like, was something going down? I don't know. I didn't look into it. But everybody that was involved with it, they had on the show except for her. And I'm like, she's very iconic. Like, that song is stuck. I mean, I'm sure you guys hear it in your head right now if you watched it as a kid. The singer was not in it at all. Like I said, 5 disco balls. Highly, highly recommend. If you watched Reading Rainbow as a kid, go watch Butterfly in the Sky on Netflix.
And they tried to do some Kickstarter?
They did. And it was hugely successful. They wanted to make an app and this and that and the other thing, but you know how things are. Like, just stuff evolves, and like the mediums don't work very well for kids. And it was like, I think it was only for Apple or something like that. So like, they couldn't really expand. I mean, obviously that's the platform you want to be on, but you miss out on a lot of stuff. You know, if you want to make it subscription based, you're fighting with tons and tons of other things. You know, I can't even mention stuff, ABC Mouse, like things like that. Like, it's just like another thing to shove in front of your kid's face. And like, I think we've gotten a little bit more involved with what do we show our kids nowadays, and what we stick them in front of them. So yeah, I don't know. You know, it's one of those things where I mean, on television it lasted 26 years, I think, and then they still try to promote it or try to figure out what's going on with it. But it's available. Some of the episodes are available on YouTube, if not all of them. It's an excellent resource. I hope I can get my kids into it, because I really loved it as a kid. I remember that. Hear that song and just run into the room. I'm watching this now. Leave me alone.
That's awesome. There's such an affection for that show from everyone in our generation. But I am curious if it did resonate to. So we're the older millennials. You know, I wonder if what came after us? Gen Z?
We just talked about this.
We did, didn't we? Yes, we did. As I was saying that, I was like, who was I talking to about this? I wonder if the generation, it is Gen Z. I wonder if the Gen Z is as affectionate towards Reading Rainbow as we are.
They don't know what it is.
They have, like, what is it? What was that show with the guy and he had a falling out?
SpongeBob.
No, not SpongeBob. It was Blue's Clues.
Oh.
There was a thing about Blue's Clues.
Is that Gen Z? I don't think that's Gen Z either.
It wasn't.
That's for younger millennials.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. When did Blue's Clues come out?
There's no way that's a Gen Z thing. That is not a Gen Z thing.
Blue's Clues came out in 1996.
Yeah, that's the younger millennials.
No idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
I mean, millennials are 81 to 96, so.
Nah, then it can't be, because if the show came out in 96,
That's
it's
what
like,
I'm saying. It's not a Gen Z.
you have to be like 2 or 3 before you can actually start like comprehending what the hell you're watching. So I would say it's Gen Z.
You think it's Gen Z?
If millennials end at 96,
Yeah, so that means that they gotta be older. Gen Z is after millennials.
right? So the
they're
kids
not
were
even
born in
born yet when-
97.
Yeah, so they're not even born yet when Blue's Clues came out.
So
it's not like they're gonna grow up watching it.
Okay,
So it's,
I see what
it's
you're saying now.
bi-generational. It's bi-generational. It's the end of millennials. It's the beginning of Gen Z.
Yep.
You're both right. Okay.
We're not millennials. Period.
Yes, we're Gen Y.
There's a term. It's called Xenials.
Oh, Zennials. That's right.
Yeah, in
Isn't that
between
what-
Gen X and millennials.
Isn't that what you are? You a Zennial?
I'm not a Xennial. I'm
Weren't
legit
you-
a millennial.
You weren't you born in like 2002 or something like that?
That's Zednio.
Weren't you born in like 2010 or something like that? You young
That's right.
whippersnapper.
All right.
Asians don't crack. All right, that's
Asians-
why you know.
Oh, so you were born in 60.
That's right. I'm around the same age as George Takei.
You're looking great for 65.
All right. Let's. We're not in after party territory yet.
Yet.
Anthony, take us out for round 1.
All right.
What you watching, Anthony?
I watched. So I took my daughter to go see the Garfield movie on Memorial Day weekend.
You hungry, little guy? You are a hungry little guy.
Indoor cat. Outdoor adventure.
We need to toughen you up. Hey, I know tough.
On May 24th.
This requires teamwork.
Why with these cats? Someone never unload. Wobble the wiggle, why slide out the back?
I could watch this all day.
The Garfield movie. May 24th. Tickets on sale now.
I actually thought it was fun. I had not seen the other Garfield movies, and nor do you need to get this one. Actually, it looks like it's outperformed Furiosa by quite a substantial amount. Sorry, Anna Taylor-Joy. Yeah, they opened at 24 million. Right now, they're at worldwide 152 million, domestic 51, international 100. This was a lot of fun. There were a lot of laugh out loud moments. I think it was made for slightly older kids, but my 6-year-old was totally into it. She was captivated. The premise is it starts with Garfield and John's origin story, which is you get the first 5 or 10 minutes is how John and Garfield met. And you see this in the trailer, but Garfield's dad leaves him in an alleyway. Garfield is across the street from an Italian restaurant and sees the pizza passing by the windows, falls in love. John sees the cat, feels bad, and then the cat just eats all of his dinner, and the rest is history. And then you fast forward, several years later, we're in cat years, 2 years later, and Odie enters the picture, and then Garfield's dad re-enters the picture. And it was a charming film. It was very funny. I feel like Garfield is my spirit animal. I want nothing more than to just sit around eating Italian food all day long, but I can't because my children take me on these adventures that I have to suffer through. It has a fantastic cast. Chris Pratt, Samuel L. Jackson, Hannah Waddingham, Ving Rhames, Brett Goldstein, Snoop Dogg. I mean, everybody. Jeff Foxworthy's in it. Everybody's in this movie. It was some great voice acting. Chris Pratt does a wonderful Garfield. What interests me, though, is the production staff. So it was directed by Mark Dindal, and his last film that he directed was in 2006, Chicken Little. And the last thing he wrote was in 2008, The Emperor's New School. And then you look at the writers. It's a very big gap. And so then the writers, which is even more interesting, Paul Kaplan, Mark Torgove, and David Reynolds, they also have huge gaps in between work. So, for example, Paul Kaplan, who's one of the writers, the last thing he did was 2016, The Late Bloomer, which I've not heard of. Mark Torgrove also worked on The Late Bloomer with Kaplan. And David Reynolds' last film was The Polar Bears in 2012. And I share this with you because this movie is just ripped apart by the critics. It has a 14% tomato meter score, a 38% audience score. And I don't know, I don't understand why, because for a kid's cartoon movie, it was a lot of fun. As an adult, I enjoyed the humor that it was dropping. The story was good, especially, if you have daddy issues like I do about abandonment and things like that, you definitely can relate. But no, I thought it was a charming film. It's really great for kids. A lot of fun. And I definitely suggest you go check it out. With cartoons, I'm going to be a little bit stingier with my balls. So I'm just going to give it 3 disco balls. It was entertaining. Will I watch it when it comes on Netflix? No. I wouldn't go and see it again. But it was a lot of fun for what it was. 3 disco balls.
Cool. I mean, it's a time filler, right? It's one of those things where you're like, I don't really care about a Garfield saga. I need to watch all the films and blah blah.
Nope.
It's if the kids enjoyed it, they check the box. You win. Move on. Cool.
Exactly.
All right. Starting round 2. Eric, what you watching?
I saw the #1 movie on Netflix right now, Atlas.
Do you copy? Do you copy?
Mayday! Mayday! Strap in!
Oh god.
Altitude warning. Fire thrusters?
Yes, fire thrusters! Fire thrusters now! Mission control. This is Atlas Shepard. Can you hear me?
Featuring Jennifer Lopez and Simu Liu from Shang-Chi. And even just looking at the trailer, it was a terrible movie. And the movie itself was terrible. But, I was never going to pass on the chance of watching a movie where you get to see people driving mechs around in the future or whatever kind of situation. So it's pretty neat. So it's okay, you're reading it up there. it's a very formulaic, terrible movie, and Jennifer Lopez, I love her, but is not a great actress, I don't think. So, which I heard she was awesome in Hustler or whatever, but you know, Mark Strong was in this movie, so I watched it for Mark Strong. That's the way I like to tell people when I finish watching this movie.
So what's the premise besides her being in a mech?
So I think we're in the near future where artificial intelligence has revolted, and they started because this AI played by Simu Liu, who's a robot, liberated all the other AI robots or whatever, and then they just tried to attack Earth, and Earth fought back, and they decided to leave the planet to go somewhere else. They went to another planet, and in the 20 years or 30 years that followed, people on Earth did all they can to try to fight against whatever, clean up, all that kind of stuff. When they came across the fact that maybe something's going on, like these AI bots are still alive somewhere, and so they dispatched a group of people to go eliminate these robots on Mars or whatever. I don't know. See, this is terrible. I can't even remember where it was. And it's the story. You know, it's about Jenny from the Block's feeling and her, you know, why is she the way she is in the movie, and the trauma that she probably had to go through as a child during this whole, because she has an intimate relationship with this AI bot. Essentially, they have a very close relationship growing up, and so how is she dealing with that? And then fairly standard terrible robot trying to take over the world kind of situation. It's a cool movie visual wise, because again, it's like watching a video game. You're
sure.
Part of, I think you see in the trailer, part of it is you know, you have to link up. It's kind of like Pacific Rim, where you have to sync your brain to a robot kind of situation, and then you get to control your robot, kind of like in Titanfalls, like the video game where you have giant mechs that you get to like drive around. And I went to see that, and that was really cool. That was just a part of it. It wasn't a huge part of the movie.
I mean, the poster does
a lot of
look
people like it too.
Are you being facetious?
Well, it's still #1 on Netflix. Usually, if it's no good, it will get knocked down quickly. But the movie's still up there.
I feel like Netflix is a little
manipulative
with it, because it has a 19% tomato meter, 48% audience score.
Yep.
Wow, 19%.
Both the critics and the audience are correct.
The critics' consensus, this is great. Jennifer Lopez admirably does her best to shoulder Atlas's seismic scope, but this sci-fi spectacle buckles under the weight of a script whose intelligence is merely artificial.
Wow. It was really bad. And I don't think Simu Liu's a great actor, and so that just kind of adds to it. And he plays a robot, and it doesn't help, and bad. But it was a great background movie. Let's say that, you know, where you can go, cool explosion. But if you have to really follow the plot, you go, this is terrible writing. Like AI might have written this storyline.
Well, yeah, and I bet we'll be seeing a lot of that. So the writers for this, the two people who are credited as writing for it, Leo Sardarian, his last project was Startup, which was a TV series from 2017. I'm not familiar with that show. But Aaron Eli Coliti he was a writer, executive producer for Lock and Key on Netflix. Did you guys watch that show? Yeah, that was a fun series. And he was also an executive producer on Daybreak, which was also a series that the director of Atlas, Brad Payton, worked on. But I'm trying to see what he actually wrote. There we go. He was a writer on the Spiderwick Chronicles, Lock and Key, Ghost Tape, so Star Trek Discovery. There we go. Now we're getting some of that sci-fi action in here. This is well. Thank you for saving me from my queue. I am not going to watch this. I have no interest in seeing Jennifer Lopez do anything. Nothing against her. Great that she's had a wonderful career, but I have zero interest in seeing her perform in a show or on stage.
Yeah, you don't need to see it.
And I'm sorry. Did you declare Disco Balls on this one?
I'll give it a 2.
That's generous.
Nice,
2 is
I
generous.
guess.
It sounds like.
Rebel Moon or Atlas? Which one? In a
Rebel Moon was so
head-to-head.
bad. Rebel Moon is so bad. Like, at least, all right. Here's why I would say I would pick Atlas over Rebel Moon. Here's the reason.
Mm-hmm.
Atlas, at least, Rebel Moon tries too hard. It tries too hard to be like episodic and grand.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Atlas knows what it is, which is not a great movie, and so I will take that over someone who's trying too hard to be pretentious and all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Both movies are skippable, but
Yeah.
you know, again, cool mix, cool visuals.
All right.
Why not?
I'll wait for the video game.
Cool. Thank you, Eric. Saving us for 2 hours of watching something extremely bad. I'm up next again. What am I watching? I am also watching, and this is a few weeks old. But I did take the family out to go see If.
There's no telling who's behind that door.
Are any of them scary?
Worse.
More like terrifying. Ooh.
Are there more of you?
Yes. So nervous. Not the cave.
Why did these kids forget about us?
It's possible the kids are just the worst. That's toxic.
Being excited is exhausting.
Okay, let's get you to bed.
If, May 17th.
Opening weekend, so it was mid-May. We're just at the beginning of June right now, so a couple weeks ago. And I mean, you have two legends of cinema now at this point. John Krasinski and the one and only Ryan Reynolds, Canadian treasure. So the trailer makes it seem like a very fun film, right? Something you want to take your kids to see and whatnot. But it's actually very serious. It's they tactfully tell a story. I think they did a very, very good job of touching on a serious topic through the perspective of a kid who loses a parent, right? So it's an extremely serious topic. And the premise of If stands for, if you haven't seen the trailer, If stands for imaginary friend. And this young girl somehow comes across this giant purple monster-looking thing who's very friendly, voiced by the extremely talented Steve Carell. Also fantastic job, right? And what she comes to find out is that these imaginary friends, or this imaginary friend, has lost their kid, right? The kid has grown up, and kid didn't need the imaginary friend anymore, or doesn't recognize the imaginary friend anymore, and now they're just searching for another kid. So the protagonist, played by Kaylee Fleming. Let me just click this to make sure I'm getting that right. Yes, Kaylee Fleming. She goes on this journey to help pair a bunch of imaginary friends to new kids, but then realizes, wait, she's looking about this wrong. What she should be doing, or what they should be doing, is actually trying to find the people that had these imaginary friends. And so it's kind of reversed, where like she's going back to the adults, right, and repairing them, getting them to see their own imaginary friends again. And so it's a very cool story with a very serious undertone. I don't want to spoil it too much. I mean, no, just as it's been weeks. Spoiler free, spoiler away, right? So the Kaylee's dad, played by John Krasinski, is also sick. So it's now she lost a parent, and now she's facing losing her second parent, right, or her other parent, and so that's the huge thing. I don't want to ruin the end. Okay, I'm not going to spoil that. It's a very big thing. But my daughter and my wife, and even I didn't pay attention to my son because my son's a little wacko. We were all in tears at the end of the film. I got into more tears because I saw my daughter crying, right? Mm-hmm. And I asked her about it and this and that, and she's like, yeah, they were sad tears, but she understands it's a movie and stuff like that, and she understands what's going on. So, like I said, it told the story in a very tactful way, as like a parent would, that I would hope would, and they addressed the situation, right? And I think they did a fantastic job. The cast was great, top to bottom, right? Everyone did an amazing job. I'm sad to see that its IMDb rating is 6.7 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Anthony, I don't know if you have keyed up the tomato score.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it's a 49% tomato meter, 88% audience score, critics' consensus, a sweet ode to rediscovering one's inner child. If largely works as old-fashioned family entertainment, despite an occasionally unfocused and unnecessarily complicated plot.
I disagree, but again, that falls in line with the audience score versus the critic meter, right? So
right,
I think it's a great film. Just be ready for it. It's the trailer does not tell you what it actually is.
Yeah.
Anthony, I think your kids might be a little too young for it.
I was just thinking that, yeah.
But it's definitely, I mean, even for you and Daria to watch, it's totally cool, right? Like, I think definitely a film for adults, but it's also geared towards older kids.
Sure.
So is it one of those things like, because I remember when I went to watch Up, and like
yes,
within the first few minutes I go, fuck, oh no, this is where this movie is going. How long, like into the movie, when you start having that moment, you go, oh no, this is not a funny movie, this is a serious movie?
Towards the end.
Okay.
Right. It's very ton of bricks, like wham, like you're like, holy cow. And I think that's where like the tears come out. It's like you kind of see it coming, but then like it happens and you're like, oh my god, it's really happening. We didn't think it's going to go this way, and it does. Like I said, I think they did a fantastic job for it. Just be ready for that emotional roller coaster. There's lots of laughs, lots of sad parts. I shouldn't say lots of sad parts. There are sad parts. I mean, however, Ryan, I'm going to refer to them by their first names just to drive Anthony mad. Ryan and John and Steve and Kaylee. Lots like Mr. Krasinski, Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Carell, Ms. Fleming. Okay, they all did a fantastic job. I mean, Louis Gossett Jr. is in it.
Oh wow,
he did pass away, right, recently?
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah. So he voiced a character in it. I mean, great. Like Greg said, great cast. Everyone did a great job. Definitely worth watching film. I give it 4 disco balls.
Nice. I'm definitely going to go check that out. But yes, I originally was going to bring my daughter to it, and but now hearing this, definitely not going to. I think a lot of it would be lost on her, but maybe in a couple of years, because your daughter's
she might get it. She might get it. My daughter's 10, so definitely
10. Yeah.
hormones are coming. But your daughter might get it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll wait until it's on Max or Netflix or something.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anthony?
All right. I guess I'll take us home for round 2.
Yeah. Let's finish out round 2 with Anthony. What you watching?
All right. So this one's an older one. Came out in 2020, actually, but it's been in my queue forever on streaming on Netflix. It's called I Care a Lot.
Good morning, Miss Peterson. I'm sorry to disturb you so early. The court has ruled that you require assistance in taking care of yourself. I'm fine. I'm afraid it's not up to you to decide. The court has appointed me to be your legal guardian. What? You have to come with me. And remember, I'm here to help.
My name is Marla Grayson.
I'm just someone who cares.
Marla Grayson, you've had amazing success. What's your secret?
There is no secret, Peter.
She forces them into the home, auctions off their house, and uses the proceeds to pay herself.
Because caring is my job. I will grab your dick and balls, and I will rip them clean off.
Big deal maker.
I know what you do here. Your hustle. Look at all these cash cows on your wall just leaking money into your account. But Jennifer Peterson, she's off limits. She has very powerful friends who can make life uncomfortable for you.
How uncomfortable are we talking?
Hello, Marla Grayson. I don't like you.
You only just met me. There's 2 types of people in this world. Predators and prey. I don't lose. I won't lose. I'm never letting you go.
Oh, you're in trouble now.
I am a fucking lioness.
And the show is, it stars Rosamund Pike, Peter Dinklage, Diana Wiest, which have not seen her in anything in a hot minute. And pretty much it's about, and I didn't know these were things, and I haven't Googled it to verify if it's actually real or just for this movie, but this woman owns a company that is a professional guardian. And so if you are not able to take care of yourself, the courts can appoint a guardian to you, and this woman is usually it. And she has a firm, and she has a wall of old people, and these are all of her guardians. And it's disgusting from the get-go. Like, thinking that this is a real thing, and again, I didn't Google it to see if this was all real, but just the concept of taking advantage of elderly people angers me so much. And so I spend most of the movie angry. So let's start with that. So what happens is Rosamund Pike is the owner of this firm, and her assistant, who is played by Isa Gonzalez, they identify this very, very wealthy individual, and she's older, she's retired, she lives by herself in a beautiful house. They do a background check on her and find out that she is what they call a cherry, I think is what they referred to her as, which is a very strange thing to call a older woman, but whatever. She's a cherry because she has lots of money. She has no next of kin or anything like that. And so they have this skeezy doctor that they work with, and the doctor says, you know what, she's might not have all the mental faculties. And so they rush through, and this judge gives Rosamund Pike guardianship, and Diana Wiest, who is the elderly woman, it gets taken out of her home and sent to a care facility that Rosamund Pike has an in with. And if that doesn't make you angry, seeing the control that Rosamund Pike has over her Diana Weist's experience at this place is disgusting. Come to find out, Diana Weist is not all who she says she is, or who Rosamund Pike thinks she is, and I guess I'll spoil some of it because it's been 4 years. Come to find out, her son is like this criminal, like mob boss, played by Peter Dinklage, the beloved Peter Dinklage. And so he's this mob boss. He goes to meet up with his mother. She doesn't show up, and they find out that all of this stuff is going down. And so the movie is about Peter Dinklage trying to get Diana Weist out of this situation, and hilarity ensues. And there's points in this where you're like, I'm actually not sure who to root for at certain points. Like, do I want Rosamund Pike to get out of this okay? Or do I want Diana Weist to get her just desserts? So there's a lot of internal struggle that you have throughout this film. And then you get to the end, and it's one of these movies, and this pisses me off so bad. There's like these movies that have multiple endings. So you get to the end, you have a perfect moment to just finish the film. But then no, they decide to extend the movie and go into this really stupid ending where just watch the movie, but hopefully you are as pissed off about it as I am after watching it. But the ending is super stupid. And then before the end credits, it gets even stupider. So that all being said, because of the emotional journey that you go through for this film, I'm gonna give it 3 disco balls. But if I was just judging it based off of the ending, I would give it 1 disco ball because the ending made me so mad. So anyway, that was I Care a Lot. It has a 79% tomato meter, 36% audience score. So apparently the audience was just as annoyed with this movie as I was. The critics were a little indifferent about it. So yeah,
I did see the film when it came out, and I don't remember the multiple endings. I think I do. I don't want to ruin it for everybody because it's something I think people should watch. I think the distaste, the 39% for audience score, I think it's that it is a real thing. This stuff really happens, right?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's anger. Like, people are like, why would you make a movie about this? And I think, no, this is how you tell people about these things, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, there's like, how like they have like links to websites. It's like, hey, if you need help with this, or you feel like you're experiencing these things, like this is where you could get resources. Like, I think that was present at some point in the end or the beginning of the film or something like that. I could be completely wrong too, but it's been a while. But yeah, it does happen, and that really, really sucks, man, that happens. And, people don't plan for these things, and they end up in the situations. Very unfortunate. I think she got what she deserved in the end, in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
I
wish it had come sooner. And that's where the multiple endings come into play. And maybe we could talk about this in After Party or something. But yeah, I wish what she gets happened earlier. So, Eric, have you seen it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I was I like Rosamund Pike, but it was more like okay, it's it's fine. I had no strong feelings. Which actually, by the way, I was laughing that entire time because every time I see or hear Peter Dinklage, I have this funny real story to share. So, old coworker of mine, her dad, who is not very politically accurate, it's when he sees things, he just say them. And years ago, her dad came to help her, I think, move into an apartment or something in New York. I remember this is a long, long time ago. And her dad's sitting in the car going like, hey, it's a dude from Elf. And then my friend's like horrified. It's like, you can't just say that. You can't say that about just like you can't say that, Dad. And so Dad's like, whatever. And then Peter Dinklage really just walked past them, and then she was like, oh my god.
That's hysterical.
So then, once she told me that story, every time someone mentions Peter Dinklage, or when I saw him in Game of Thrones, this is the only thing I can think of.
It's the guy from Elf, and there he goes. That's awesome. All right, well, that's
Cool.
what I'm watching.
Should I take us out?
Take us out, Chris.
Do you want more Geeky A Go-Go? Well, make sure you're following us on all the socials at Geeky A Go-Go and share with us what you're watching. Want cool stuff? Want to connect with us on a higher level, like on our Discord channel? Head on over to patreon.com/geekyagogo and support the show. You'll get awesome swag and other perks. If you haven't done so already, make sure you're following the show on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review. Thanks so much for listening. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, that was an NSYNC song right there.
Bye.